Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. It is an honor to stand before you today and speak about two of the most powerful forces that drive success in life: perseverance and hope. Life is a journey filled with ups and downs, triumphs and challenges. But what separates those who succeed from those who give up is not just talent or luck, it is their ability to persevere through difficulties and maintain hope even in the darkest times. Life is a journey filled with uncertainties. At every stage, we encounter obstacles, some small, some life-changing. It is in these moments that perseverance and hope become the driving forces that determine whether we rise above our challenges or succumb to them. Perseverance is the ability to keep moving forward despite difficulties. It is the mindset that says, I may have failed today, but tomorrow is another opportunity to try again. Without perseverance, even the most talented individuals can find themselves stuck, unable to move past the obstacles in their way. Hardships are inevitable, but our ability to endure them, to push through even when the odds are stacked against us, is what leads to success. Hope, on the other hand, is what fuels perseverance. It is the belief that a better future is possible, even if the present moment feels overwhelming. Hope keeps us going when the road ahead seems uncertain. It reminds us that failures are temporary and that, with determination, things can improve. Hope is what gives people the courage to start over after a loss, to dream again after disappointment, and to keep striving even when things seem impossible. Together, perseverance and hope create an unstoppable force. Think of an athlete training for years to compete in the Olympics. There will be injuries, defeats, and setbacks along the way. Without perseverance, they would give up after the first failure. Without hope, they would never believe that victory is possible. It is only by holding on to both that they are able to keep pushing forward, training harder, and ultimately achieving greatness. History has shown us time and time again that those who refuse to give up, who continue to believe in themselves and their dreams, are the ones who achieve success. From scientists who make groundbreaking discoveries after years of failed experiments to leaders who overcome oppression and adversity to bring about change, perseverance and hope are the common threads in every great success story. No matter what challenge you are facing in life, be it academic struggles, career setbacks, personal hardships, or dreams that seem far out of reach, remember that success is not about never falling. It is about getting up every time you do. It is about believing in yourself and your journey, even when things seem uncertain. Perseverance and hope are not just qualities of the successful, they are the very foundation upon which success is built. Perseverance is one of the most critical qualities a person can have. It is the inner strength that allows us to continue striving toward our goals, even when faced with difficulties, failures, and setbacks. Every successful person, no matter their field, has had to deal with challenges, but what sets them apart is their ability to persist despite these difficulties. Life is full of obstacles. Whether it is in academics, careers, relationships, or personal growth, challenges are inevitable. Sometimes, things do not go as planned. You may fail an important exam, lose a job opportunity, or face rejection. In these moments, it is easy to feel discouraged and think about giving up. However, perseverance is the key that separates those who give up from those who eventually achieve success. One of the most famous examples of perseverance is Thomas Edison. When asked about his failures, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset is the essence of perseverance. It is about learning from failure, adjusting your approach, and continuing to move forward. Another remarkable example is Helen Keller. Born deaf and blind, she faced unimaginable challenges, yet she never gave up. With the help of her teacher, Anne Sullivan, she learned to communicate and went on to become a world-renowned author and activist. Her story teaches us that even when the odds seem insurmountable, perseverance can lead to incredible achievements. Perseverance is not just about hard work, it is also about mental strength. It requires discipline, patience, and resilience. Sometimes, the road to success is long and difficult, but those who keep pushing forward, even when things seem hopeless, are the ones who ultimately reach their goals. In our everyday lives, perseverance plays a crucial role. Think about a student struggling with a difficult subject. If they give up at the first sign of failure, they will never improve. But if they keep studying, seeking help, and practicing, they will eventually master the subject. The same applies to athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, and anyone working toward a dream. Success rarely comes easily, it is earned through persistence and effort. Perseverance also builds character. Every time you push through adversity, you become stronger. You develop the ability to handle stress, overcome disappointments, and stay committed to your goals. It teaches you that failure is not the end, but rather a stepping stone to success. Ultimately, perseverance is about believing in yourself and your dreams, even when others doubt you. It is about refusing to let setbacks define you and continuing to take steps toward your goals, no matter how small. Those who persevere, who refuse to quit even when things get tough, are the ones who achieve greatness. Hope is a powerful force that has the ability to uplift, inspire, and transform lives. It is the inner light that keeps us moving forward, even when we are surrounded by darkness. In difficult moments, when failure seems certain and hardships feel overwhelming, hope reminds us that better days are ahead. It allows us to push forward when we might otherwise give up. Hope is not just wishful thinking, it is the deep-seated belief that circumstances can and will improve. It is what gives people the courage to continue, even when they have no immediate evidence that things will get better. Hope has driven inventors to keep creating after repeated failures, entrepreneurs to keep working after financial setbacks, and individuals to rebuild their lives after devastating losses. It is the fuel that turns dreams into reality. History has shown us the incredible power of hope. During some of the darkest periods in human history, hope has been the force that has kept people strong. Consider Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison for fighting against apartheid in South Africa. Despite facing unimaginable hardships, he never lost hope that one day his country would be free and equal. That hope kept him going, and when he was finally released, he played a key role in ending apartheid and uniting his nation. Hope is also evident in the stories of refugees who flee war-torn countries, carrying nothing but the belief that they will find safety and a better life. It is seen in cancer patients who, despite the odds, continue to fight with optimism. It is present in struggling students who believe that, with enough effort, they can turn their grades around. In every corner of the world, hope is what keeps people moving forward. However, hope is not just about believing that things will get better, it is also about taking action to make it happen. True hope is active, not passive. It inspires people to work hard, to seek opportunities, and to make changes that will lead to a brighter future. It gives people the strength to endure hardships, but it also encourages them to take steps toward improvement. A hopeful person does not just sit and wait for things to change, they actively strive to make things better. Hope also plays a crucial role in mental and emotional well-being. Studies have shown that hopeful people are more resilient, happier, and healthier. They experience less stress and are better at coping with difficulties because they believe that challenges are temporary and that solutions exist. When people lose hope, they often fall into despair, which can lead to a lack of motivation, depression, or even giving up entirely. But when people hold on to hope, they find the strength to persevere, no matter how difficult the situation may seem. Even in the face of failure, hope encourages us to try again. It reminds us that a setback today does not mean failure forever. It is the voice that says, "This is not the end. You can still rise. There is still a way forward." Hope is what keeps people going after heartbreak, after disappointment, after losing everything. It allows people to rebuild, reinvent, and reclaim their future. In the end, hope is what gives life meaning. It is the belief that tomorrow can be better than today, that effort leads to progress, and that no matter how hard things get, there is always a chance for change. Those who hold on to hope, even in the darkest moments, are the ones who find the strength to keep moving forward, to keep fighting, and to keep believing in a better future. Throughout history, some of the greatest achievements have come from individuals who refused to give up despite facing countless hardships. These individuals did not succeed because life was easy for them. Instead, they succeeded because they had the resilience to keep going when everything seemed impossible. Their stories serve as powerful reminders that perseverance is one of the most important ingredients of success. One of the most well-known examples is Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb. Before he finally succeeded, he failed thousands of times. Most people would have given up after the first few failures, believing that their idea was impossible. However, Edison saw failure differently. He is famously quoted as saying, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His ability to persist, to learn from his mistakes, and to keep moving forward is what ultimately led to his groundbreaking invention. His perseverance not only changed his life but also transformed the world. Another inspiring example is J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before she became one of the best-selling authors in history, she faced enormous difficulties. She was a single mother, struggling financially, and living in near poverty. Her book was rejected by 12 different publishers before one finally agreed to take a chance on her story. Many people might have given up after a few rejections, believing that their work was not good enough, but Rowling believed in her dream and kept pushing forward. Today, her books have sold over 500 million copies worldwide, inspiring millions of readers and proving that perseverance can turn even the most difficult circumstances into success. We can also look at the story of Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential media moguls in the world. She was born into poverty, faced abuse in her early years, and encountered numerous career setbacks. Early in her career, she was fired from a television news job because she was told she was not fit for television. Instead of letting rejection define her, she persevered, worked harder, and built an empire. Today, she is one of the most successful and respected figures in the entertainment industry. Her story proves that no matter how difficult one's past may be, perseverance can create a bright future. Another powerful example of perseverance is Nelson Mandela, the South African leader who fought against apartheid. He was imprisoned for 27 years simply because he stood for justice and equality. Many would have lost hope or given up on their cause after spending decades behind bars, but Mandela did not let imprisonment break his spirit. Instead, he continued to believe in his vision for a free and equal South Africa. When he was finally released, he did not seek revenge but instead worked toward reconciliation and unity. His perseverance and determination eventually led to the end of apartheid, and he became the first black president of South Africa, inspiring millions across the world. In the world of science, Albert Einstein is another example of perseverance in action. As a child, he was considered a slow learner and even struggled with speech. He was rejected from university and was told by some that he would never amount to anything. Despite these early struggles, he did not let failure stop him. He continued to study, research, and push the boundaries of knowledge. Eventually, he developed the theory of relativity, one of the most important scientific discoveries in history. His story is proof that even those who face setbacks and doubts from others can go on to achieve greatness. In sports, Michael Jordan, widely considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was once cut from his high school basketball team. Instead of letting that rejection define him, he used it as motivation to train harder. He once said, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." His relentless dedication to improving himself and his refusal to quit turned him into a legend in the world of sports. These stories show us that setbacks, failures, and challenges are not the end. They are simply part of the journey towards success. The individuals who make history and leave a lasting impact on the world are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who faced adversity but refused to let it defeat them. They embraced challenges, learned from failure, and pushed forward with determination. Their lives serve as powerful reminders that perseverance is the key to achieving greatness. No matter how difficult the road may be, that failure is often viewed as something negative, something to be feared or avoided. Many people believe that failing means they are not good enough or that they should give up on their dreams. However, history has proven time and again that failure is not the opposite of success, it is a necessary part of it. Those who achieve greatness are not the ones who never fail, but rather the ones who refuse to let failure stop them. They see it as a learning experience, an opportunity to grow and improve. When we look at the most successful people in the world, we see that they all have one thing in common: they failed before they succeeded. Walt Disney, for example, was fired from his first job at a newspaper because his editor told him he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Imagine if he had taken that failure as a sign to give up. Instead, he used it as motivation to keep going, eventually creating Disney, one of the most successful entertainment companies in the world. Similarly, Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was once fired from his own company. Most people would have seen this as a devastating failure, but Jobs took it as a learning experience. He used his time away from Apple to build new skills, work on other projects, and develop a new vision. When he returned to Apple, he led the company to become one of the most innovative and successful in history. Failure is not a sign that we are not capable, it is a sign that we are trying. Every time we fail, we learn something valuable. We discover what does not work, which brings us one step closer to finding what does. Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. Athletes also understand the value of failure. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, missed over 9,000 shots in his career and lost nearly 300 games. He was trusted to take the game-winning shot 26 times and missed. He once said, "I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." His story is proof that failure does not mean defeat, it means growth. In the world of science, Albert Einstein, one of the most brilliant minds in history, was considered a slow learner as a child. His teachers thought he would never amount to anything. Later in life, many of his early theory were rejected by the scientific community, but he did not give up. He used each setback as an opportunity to refine his ideas, and eventually he changed the world with his theory of relativity. Failure should not be seen as an endpoint, but rather as a stepping stone. The greatest lessons in life often come from our mistakes. When we fail, we gain experience, resilience, and wisdom. We learn what does not work, which helps us improve and make better choices in the future. One of the biggest reasons people fear failure is because they worry about what others will think. Society often praises success, but does not always acknowledge the struggles and failures that lead up to it. However, if we shift our perspective and start seeing failure as part of the journey, we will be more willing to take risks and chase our dreams. When a child learns to walk, they fall many times before they succeed, but they do not stop trying after the first fall. They get up, adjust, and try again until they finally take their first steps. The same principle applies to every area of life, whether it is building a career, learning a new skill, or achieving personal goals. The key is to embrace failure, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Failure does not define us, our response to it does. Those who see failure as a lesson rather than a defeat are the ones who ultimately achieve success. The road to greatness is paved with mistakes, but each failure brings us one step closer to success. The people we surround ourselves with and the environment we create play a crucial role in shaping our mindset, our motivation, and ultimately our success. Human beings are deeply influenced by those around them. If we are constantly surrounded by negativity, people who discourage us, criticize us, or tell us that our dreams are impossible, it becomes much harder to persevere. However, when we surround ourselves with positive, supportive, and motivated individuals, we gain strength, inspiration, and encouragement to keep going even when times get tough. Throughout history, the most successful individuals have not achieved greatness alone. They had mentors, supporters, and communities that uplifted and motivated them. Oprah Winfrey, for example, credits much of her success to the guidance and encouragement of her teachers and mentors. They believed in her even when she doubted herself, and that belief pushed her to strive for more. This highlights the importance of having people in our lives who see our potential and remind us of it when we are struggling. Positivity is not just about having supportive friends and mentors, it is also about the messages we feed our minds. What we consume, whether through social media, books, music, or daily conversations, has a direct impact on our mindset. If we constantly consume negative content, listen to pessimistic people, or dwell on failures, it will be difficult to stay hopeful and motivated. On the other hand, if we engage with uplifting content, listen to motivational speeches, read inspiring stories, and practice positive self talk, we create an environment that fuels perseverance and resilience. One of the best ways to stay motivated is to be intentional about the people we spend time with. If we are surrounded by people who are ambitious, hardworking, and optimistic, we naturally adopt their mindset and habits. Studies have shown that individuals are often a reflection of the 5 people they spend the most time with. If those people are constantly complaining, doubting, and making excuses, we are more likely to adopt the same attitude. But if they are goal-oriented, disciplined, and supportive, we will absorb their energy and motivation. Many great leaders and entrepreneurs credit their success to the power of networking and mentorship. Elon Musk, for instance, has often spoken about the importance of learning from the people around him. He surrounds himself with engineers, scientists, and visionaries who challenge and inspire him to think bigger. Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors, was mentored by Benjamin Graham, who helped shape his investment philosophy and mindset. Their success stories highlight how being in the right environment and having the right people around can make all the difference. Motivation and positivity are also deeply connected to self-belief. If we constantly hear that we are not good enough or that our dreams are unrealistic, we may start believing it. But when we receive encouragement, support, and constructive feedback, we build confidence in ourselves. This confidence is essential because success requires persistence, and persistence is only possible when we believe in our ability to achieve our goals. Another way to maintain a positive environment is by practicing gratitude. When we focus on what is going well in our lives, rather than only on what is going wrong, we train our minds to see opportunities instead of obstacles. Successful individuals often keep gratitude journals or take time each day to reflect on their progress. This simple habit shifts the focus from negativity to positivity, reinforcing the mindset needed to push forward. Even in challenging times, finding a source of motivation can make a huge difference. Some people find inspiration through mentors and role models, while others draw strength from personal experiences, books, or even spiritual beliefs. Mahatma Gandhi, for example, remained deeply connected to his principles of nonviolence and justice, drawing strength from his values even when facing extreme opposition. His unwavering belief in his cause and his ability to stay motivated despite obstacles led to monumental change. Staying on track requires consistent effort, but the right support system makes it easier. Whether it is friends who encourage us, mentors who guide us, or habits that keep us focused, surrounding ourselves with positivity is essential. A positive environment does not mean that we will never face difficulties. It means that even when we do, we have the strength, encouragement, and mindset to overcome them. One of the most common reasons people give up on their goals is because they feel overwhelmed. The journey towards success can often seem too long, too difficult, or simply out of reach. But the truth is, no great achievement happens overnight. Every great success story is built on small, consistent steps taken over time. Even when progress seems slow, even when obstacles appear, taking small steps forward is what ultimately leads to big achievements. When we look at some of the most successful individuals in history, we see that they did not achieve greatness in one giant leap. Instead, they moved forward bit by bit, step by step. Nelson Mandela did not end apartheid in South Africa overnight. He spent decades fighting for justice. J.K. Rowling did not write the Harry Potter series in a day. She wrote it one chapter at a time, often struggling through difficult periods in her life. Albert Einstein did not come up with the theory of relativity in a single moment of inspiration. He spent years refining his ideas, making small discoveries along the way that led to a revolutionary breakthrough. One of the biggest challenges in any journey is the temptation to quit when progress feels slow. There will always be times when we feel stuck, when our efforts seem to yield no results, and when we wonder if we are wasting our time. But what many people do not realize is that progress is often invisible in the beginning. A seed planted in the soil does not sprout immediately. It takes time, patience, and consistent care before we see any visible signs of growth. However, just because we do not see the progress right away does not mean it is not happening. This idea applies to every aspect of life. A student who struggles with math may feel like they will never improve, but if they commit to studying a little each day, over time they will start to understand more and more. A person trying to get in shape may not see immediate results, but if they exercise consistently and make small healthy choices daily, they will eventually notice a transformation. A musician may not master an instrument in a few weeks, but years of small, consistent practice sessions will lead to mastery. Even in the face of adversity, small steps forward are possible. Consider someone recovering from a personal loss, heartbreak, or failure. The pain may seem unbearable at first, and the idea of moving on may feel impossible. But taking small steps, waking up each morning, focusing on one positive action at a time, seeking support, and allowing oneself to heal gradually leads to emotional recovery and renewal. The concept of small, consistent progress is also evident in nature. A river does not carve a canyon in a single day, but over thousands of years, through continuous flow, it creates something breathtaking like the Grand Canyon. Likewise, great artists do not create masterpieces instantly. They refine their skills through years of practice and dedication. This natural law teaches us that persistence, even in small amounts, leads to extraordinary results over time. Another powerful example of small steps leading to greatness is Mount Everest climbers. No one reaches the peak in one giant leap. They prepare for months or even years, climbing higher and higher in small stages. They adjust to the altitude, take breaks, and keep pushing forward even when conditions are harsh. If they tried to reach the top all at once, they would fail. But by taking small, steady steps, they achieve something incredible. One of the most effective strategies for achieving long-term success is breaking big goals into smaller, manageable steps. If we focus only on the final destination, it may seem too far away, and we may lose motivation. But if we break it down into smaller milestones, we create a roadmap that makes the journey easier. A writer does not finish a book in one sitting, but by writing one page at a time. A business does not grow into a multinational company overnight, but by expanding step by step. A student does not graduate in a day, but by passing one class at a time. Even when life gets difficult, even when obstacles arise, and even when motivation fades, moving forward even just a little keeps the journey alive. Some days, progress will be big. Other days, it may be just a small effort, but as long as we keep moving, we are still on the path to success. Small steps forward, no matter how insignificant they seem in the moment, always add up over time. They create momentum, build resilience, and ultimately lead to accomplishments that once seemed impossible. The key is to never stop moving, even if progress is slow, because every step, no matter how small, brings us closer to our dreams. Perseverance and hope are the twin forces that push us forward in life, even in the face of adversity. They are what separate those who achieve greatness from those who give up too soon. Every failure, every setback, and every challenge is not an endpoint but a stepping stone towards success. The road may be long, and the journey may be difficult, but as long as we refuse to quit and continue moving forward step by step, day by day, our dreams remain within reach. History has shown us that the people who change the world, who achieve the impossible, are not the ones who had everything handed to them. They are the ones who faced failure, rejection, and hardship but never allowed those obstacles to break their spirit. They learned from failure instead of fearing it, surrounded themselves with positivity, and took small but consistent steps toward their goals. No matter where we are in life, no matter how many times we have stumbled, the power to rise again is always within us. As long as we hold on to hope and persevere through every difficulty, there is no limit to what we can accomplish. The journey will not always be easy, but every effort, no matter how small, brings us closer to success. So let us embrace challenges with courage, face setbacks with resilience, and move forward with unwavering hope. Because in the end, it is not the ones who never fail that succeed, it is the ones who never give up